Multiple rounds of snow are about to pummel the United States in a relentless winter assault that won't stop for at least 7 days. Right now, one system is already delivering heavy snow across New England. Behind it, a second clipper is diving south, targeting areas that haven't seen significant snow yet this season. And lurking behind that, a third system could deliver the first major snowstorm to the I-95 corridor from Washington, D.C. all the way to Boston. In 30 seconds, I'm revealing which cities are about to get buried under multiple feet of snow from these back-to-back systems and why the Arctic blast following these storms will be the coldest air of the entire winter season. If you live anywhere east of the Rockies, you cannot afford to miss what I'm about to tell you. 3 separate winter weather systems, 1 week. Millions of Americans in the crosshairs. This isn't your typical December snow. This is a pattern that's locked in, aggressive, and showing no signs of backing down. Let me break down exactly what's happening, when it's hitting your city, and how much snow you're about to see. System number 1 is ongoing right now. Heavy snow is slamming New England and the interior Northeast. Rain along the I-95 corridor for now, but that could change tonight. Boston might see a brief switch to snow late tonight. The higher elevations, the favored spots, they're getting hammered with heavy wet snow. This continues through this evening, tapering off overnight with some lake-enhanced snow following off Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. But here's where it gets interesting. Drop south to the central and southern Appalachian Mountains. There is a blizzard on the way. Not just snow, a blizzard. Blizzard warnings are up for West Virginia. This is aggressive northwest flow snow that's going to bury the higher elevations. Rain moves over the central to southern Appalachians, switches to heavy snow in the higher elevations of West Virginia, and becomes an all-out blizzard. The HRR model always undermodels this northwest flow setup. There'll be more moisture than what's showing. Higher elevations above 3,000 to 4,000 feet could get several inches. Even down into the Tennessee, North Carolina mountains, this is trending into a pretty aggressive northwest flow event. Tonight, snow continues as far south as the Smokies. Even the Tri-Cities area could see flurries, maybe even some bursts of moderate snow. Winter weather advisories are littered across the map. Winter storm warnings for the Tug Hill Plateau, the Adirondacks, southern Vermont. Blizzard warnings for West Virginia. Winter weather advisories all the way down into the Smokies. Wind advisories everywhere. This is a very windy system, pretty strong northwest flow that's trended much farther south, all the way down into the southern Appalachian Mountains. Now here's your first reward point at 3 minutes 20 seconds. System number 2 arrives tomorrow. Another clipper diving in, and this one's colder than the first. Heavy snow across Minneapolis tomorrow morning, early afternoon. Then it dives into the Midwest. This is cold enough for snow in Chicago, down to Peoria, Bloomington. Tomorrow evening, 5 to 6 p.m., an area of snow moves through Bloomington, Peoria, Chicago, Madison, Milwaukee, getting all the way down to Indianapolis, a swath of accumulating snow. Gets down to Louisville, Cincinnati, Dayton by 9 to 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Still snowing in Chicago. Kalamazoo getting snow. The big question. How far south does it get? This clipper shows a round of snow moving right into West Virginia, taking over the state of Ohio in the middle of the night tomorrow night into Friday morning. Multiple models are showing this. The HRRR, the NAM, they're in good agreement. Let me give you snowfall totals from this second system. Minnesota could see 2 to 6 inches. Wisconsin, southern half mainly, a few inches. Chicago, several inches possible, could get as little as about an inch, but definitely accumulating snow. North central Illinois down into central Indiana, 2 to 5 inches. Indianapolis, that's a pretty decent event. 2 to 5 inches on the way. Ohio gets hit hard. Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati, 3 to 4 inches from this clipper. Kentucky, a few inches between now and Friday evening. Eastern Kentucky sees more. Watch London and Elizabethtown, this could trend farther south. And there's probably another round of snow in this area later in the weekend, not included in these totals yet. But wait, system number 3 is coming. Saturday into Sunday. This is where things get really interesting, especially for the Northeast. This third area of snow can combine with more energy once it moves east. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 straight days of snow potential. This one probably hits the Ohio Valley again into the central Appalachian Mountains. It's going to be a wintry weekend. The energy can combine, and we could get snow for the Delmarva areas of New Jersey trying to push into the Northeast. Check this out on the latest model runs. Snow trying to dip all the way back down into the southern Appalachian mountains of North Carolina, Tennessee. A swath of moderate snowfall, even some heavy snow developing Sunday morning across areas that really haven't seen much snow yet this season. Then it tries to build a low pressure off the coastline Sunday, bringing accumulating snow along that I-95 corridor. The GFS shows the same thing, trying to deliver snow a bit farther south Sunday, though it doesn't really get it into the I-95 corridor on that run. But the Euro AI model swings this in and delivers a pretty nice snow event across the Northeast, the I-95 corridor. You've got to watch the Mid-Atlantic with this setup too. For sure, watch the Mid-Atlantic. Snow all the way down to the southern Appalachian mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina. This ends up turning into a nice snowstorm, a few to several inch snowfall event across areas of the I-95 corridor. The Euro ensemble signal shows Friday's event dipping south, a little signal even into the Mid-Atlantic. Then, here comes the next event. You can see the signal. The latest runs are looking more impressive with this. So we'll continue to watch. This could be the first significant snow for the I-95 corridor this season. Now, at the 5-minute mark, here's what I promised you. Regardless of whether we get a snowstorm in the Northeast or not, here comes the blast of cold air. Behind the first trough digging in right now into the later portion of this week, we get a blast of Arctic air that follows. Very, very cold air. This continues to trend a little bit colder, and it's beginning to trend a little bit farther south again. We had this Arctic air mass showing up pretty far south. Then it trended north. Now it's trending back a little farther to the south. As we get into the end of this weekend, very cold air mass moves in. Freezes up all the way to the end of this weekend into the start of next week. Then we see a warm-up show up. Looks like a widespread lower 48 warm-up. That makes sense when you look at the trough. The bluish-green color swings down, continues to trend a little south. It's going to bring some very cold air to the eastern U.S. Then the ridge builds in. Warmer than average temperatures follow eventually, but we're talking about next week for that. This weekend through early next week, Arctic cold dominates. Let me paint the full picture of what this means for you. If you're in New England right now, you're dealing with the first system. Heavy snow in the higher elevations, rain mixing to snow at lower elevations tonight, accumulations adding up in the mountains. Tomorrow, you get a break. Saturday into Sunday, watch for that third system. This could bring significant snow to areas that saw mostly rain from the first two systems. If you're in the Mid-Atlantic, particularly the I-95 corridor from DC to Philadelphia to New York, you've been shut out so far this season. System 1 and 2 miss you for the most part, but System 3 on Sunday could finally deliver. The models are showing increasing agreement on a coastal low development that brings accumulating snow to this region. This is worth watching closely. If you're in the Midwest, you're getting hit by all three systems. First one moves through today and tonight. Second one tomorrow night into Friday. Third one Saturday into Sunday. Multiple rounds of accumulating snow. Chicago, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, all seeing multiple snow events. Travel is going to be difficult for days. If you're in the Ohio Valley, similar story. Multiple rounds of snow, each system reinforcing the previous one. Snow on top of snow on top of snow. And then the Arctic blast arrives behind it all, ensuring nothing melts. You're looking at a prolonged winter weather event. If you're in the southern Appalachians, this is an interesting setup. The northwest flow from the first system brings snow to the higher elevations. The second system Friday might clip you. The third system Sunday could bring another round. The Smokies, the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina, you're looking at multiple chances for accumulating snow. Now let's talk specifics for major cities, because I know that's what you want to know. Minneapolis, you're getting hit tomorrow morning with System 2. Heavy snow, several inches likely. Then another round, Saturday. Accumulations building throughout the week. And then the Arctic blast settles in. ensuring those snow piles don't melt. We're talking sub-zero temperatures for days. Chicago, you're in the bullseye for System 2. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, several inches of snow. This is a decent winter storm for the city. Travel will be impacted, and like Minneapolis, System 3 might bring more Saturday into Sunday. Multiple rounds adding up to significant totals. Then the cold locks in. Indianapolis, 2 to 5 inches from System 2 is a significant event for you. Friday night into Saturday, this snow falls during prime time. Roads will be a mess. Then, potentially more Sunday. You're looking at a wintry weekend with travel difficulties and cold temperatures following. Cincinnati and Columbus, 3 to 4 inches from System 2 is just the start. Another round likely Saturday into Sunday. The Ohio Valley is getting pummeled this week. Multiple winter weather events in rapid succession, each one bringing accumulating snow. The cold air following ensures nothing melts between systems. Milwaukee and Madison, you're on the northern edge of System 2, seeing a few inches tomorrow night. Lake effect could enhance totals downwind of the lakes. System 3, Saturday into Sunday, adds more. Multiple snow events in a short time frame. Detroit and Cleveland, lake effect is your story after each system moves through. The initial snows from the Clipper systems, then the northwest flow sets up lake effect bands. Downwind areas could see significant accumulations from lake effect alone. Add that to the Clipper snows, and you're looking at substantial totals. Pittsburgh and the Appalachian areas, you're getting clipped by all three systems. Each one brings snow to the higher elevations, some snow at lower elevations. The accumulations add up over multiple days. And that blizzard warning for parts of West Virginia from System 1 is no joke. Heavy snow, strong winds, blizzard conditions in the mountains. Buffalo and Syracuse, lake effect capital of the world, you know the drill. After each system passes, the lake effect machines turn on. Tug Hill Plateau, areas east and south of the lakes, you're looking at potentially very significant snow from lake effect. Multiple feet possible in the favored zones by the end of the week. Boston and Providence, System 1 brings rain mixing to snow tonight. Brief snow possible. System 3, Sunday, could bring the first significant accumulating snow of the season. The models are showing increasing support for this. Watch closely as we get closer. New York City and Philadelphia, you've been shut out this winter. Mostly rain or nothing from Systems 1 and 2. But System 3, Sunday, is your chance. A developing coastal low could bring accumulating snow. How much depends on the exact track, but the potential is there for the first real snow of the season. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, similar to New York and Philly. Systems 1 and 2 miss you. System 3, Sunday, is the one to watch. A coastal low tracking close to the coast could bring snow. This is still several days away, but the ingredients are coming together. Now here's your second reward point. The Arctic blast following these systems is not your average December cold. This is legitimate Arctic air, trending colder on the latest model runs and trending farther south. By the end of this weekend into early next week, very cold air grips the eastern half of the country. We're talking about temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below average for many areas. Sub-zero actual temperatures in the upper Midwest and northern plains. Single digits in the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Teens and 20s in the mid-Atlantic. Even the South will feel this, with temperatures dipping into the 20s and 30s, where normally you'd see 40s and 50s. Wind chills will make it feel even colder. -20 to -40 in the upper Midwest. Below zero across much of the Great Lakes and Northeast. This is dangerous cold. Frostbite can occur in minutes. Hypothermia is a real risk. Outdoor activities become dangerous. Vehicles struggle to start. Pipes can freeze and burst. This cold air is stubborn. It settles in and doesn't want to leave. Multiple days of well below average temperatures. The snow on the ground from these three systems will act as a natural refrigerator, keeping temperatures even colder. Nothing melts. The snow piles just sit there, compacting and freezing solid. Eventually, next week, a warm-up arrives. The ridge builds in, bringing above-average temperatures back to much of the country. But that's next week. This week and this weekend, winter has a firm grip on the eastern half of the United States. The pattern is locked in, cold, snowy, and active. Let me address travel, because I know that's a major concern. If you have travel plans this week, especially Thursday through Sunday, you need to have backup plans. Multiple winter storms tracking across major travel corridors. Snow, ice, wind, all creating hazardous conditions. Airports will see delays and cancellations. Roads will be dangerous. Travel times will be significantly longer than normal. If you must travel, pack emergency supplies in your vehicle: blankets, food, water, flashlight, phone charger. Winter weather can strand you quickly. Make sure someone knows your route and expected arrival time. Keep your gas tank at least half full. Check road conditions before you leave and be prepared to turn around if conditions deteriorate. Air travel will be impacted too. Chicago, a major hub, gets hit hard Friday. Delays and cancellations ripple across the country when Chicago has problems. Cleveland, Detroit, other Great Lakes airports also see snow and wind. The Northeast sees impacts from System 1 today, potentially System 3 Sunday. Build in extra time. Expect delays. Have flexibility in your plans. For those staying home, prepare now. Stock up on food, water, medications. Make sure your heating system is working properly. Have backup heat sources if possible, but never use generators indoors. Carbon monoxide kills. Clear gutters and downspouts. Trim branches that could fall on power lines. Prepare for possible power outages. Insulate pipes in unheated areas. Let faucets drip if temperatures drop into the teens. Open cabinet doors under sinks to let warm air circulate. A burst pipe in extreme cold can cause thousands in damage and leave you without water. Prevention is much easier than dealing with the aftermath. Bring pets inside. Outdoor animals need insulated shelter with warm bedding and access to unfrozen water. Check on them frequently. Small breeds, short-haired breeds, and older animals are especially vulnerable to cold. Don't assume they can handle it just because they're animals. They need protection too. Check on vulnerable neighbors, elderly people, people living alone, people with inadequate heating. A simple phone call or welfare check could save a life. Community matters during extreme weather. We look out for each other. That's how we get through these events safely. Now here's your third and final reward point: what to watch for over the next week. First, track System 1 today and tonight. Snow totals in New England and the Appalachians. Any shifts in the track that bring more snow farther south or east. Second, watch System 2 tomorrow night into Friday. How far south does it track? Does it bring more snow to Kentucky and Tennessee than currently expected? Third, and most importantly, watch System 3 Sunday. The models are showing increasing agreement on a coastal low that brings snow to the I-95 corridor. This could be the first significant snow for millions of people. Track it closely. Small changes in the track make big differences in who sees snow versus rain. Fourth, watch the Arctic blast. Is it trending colder? Is it trending farther south? Latest runs suggest yes to both questions. Fifth, watch for any additional systems next week. After this burst of activity, does the pattern continue active or do we get a break? The long range suggests a brief warm-up next week, but then what? Does the cold and snow return? These are the things that determine how the rest of December plays out. Let me leave you with this perspective. 3 systems in 1 week is unusual but not unprecedented. What makes this significant is the coverage, multiple regions getting hit multiple times. The Midwest seeing all 3 systems, the Northeast potentially getting bookend storms with the first and third systems. The cold air following that ensures snow sticks around. This is a pattern that favors winter weather, and it's locked in for at least a week. For snow lovers, winter weather enthusiasts, this is what you've been waiting for. Multiple chances for accumulating snow. The first significant I-95 corridor storm potentially on the way. Lake effect cranking up between systems, northwest flow events bringing snow to the mountains. This is an active, classic winter pattern. For everyone else, this is a week to be prepared. Multiple rounds of winter weather, travel difficulties, cold temperatures, potential power outages. But with preparation and caution, you'll get through it. The weather doesn't care if you're ready. It's coming anyway. But you have power. The power to prepare. The power to make smart decisions. the power to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. In the next video, I'm going to dive deeper into that potential I-95 corridor storm on Sunday, what the models are showing, which cities are most likely to see significant snow, what the uncertainties are. And I'll break down the Arctic blast in more detail, including specific temperature forecasts for major cities and how long this cold pattern might last. But for now, focus on what's coming in the next 72 hours. System 1 wrapping up today. System 2 arriving tomorrow night. Both bringing accumulating snow to millions, travel impacts guaranteed. Then System 3 Sunday with the potential for that first big I-95 corridor storm. And Arctic air following that brings the coldest temperatures of the season. Stay informed, check forecasts daily, have multiple ways to receive weather warnings. Prepare now, not later. Don't take unnecessary risks. Don't underestimate winter weather. And please, check on people who might need help. Share this information with anyone who might not know what's coming. Multiple rounds of snow are on the way. A blast of Arctic air is coming. This is winter, and it's not backing down. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay prepared.